A top US economist has warned that a stock market crash is likely soon and it will be bigger than the Great Recession in 2008.
The US is headed for the most predictable economic crisis in history, as Bill Clinton's former White House chief of staff once put it. Why?
Concerns the American economy is headed for a recession, which could bring down global growth. Unemployment in the...
What if I told you that the biggest economic crisis of our lifetime isn't just coming, it's already started? And the scariest part? Most people don't even see it coming. Stay until the end to discover the critical factor that could protect your wealth in 2025 and beyond. Because this time, it's different, and we mean really different. What's up, wealth builders? Welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into something that's been keeping us up at night, the perfect economic storm that's brewing right under our noses. We're going to break down exactly why this coming crisis could make 2008 look like a minor hiccup, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Let's dive right in. The remote work revolution's dark side.
All of us talking. A new study looking at the pros and cons of remote work.
Economists at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York say young workers may be missing the power of proximity like this.
Let's start with something that hits close to home for many of you, the remote work bubble. Remember when everyone thought working from home was the future? Well, there's a twist in this story that nobody saw coming. Major companies have been quietly crunching the numbers, and they're realizing something shocking. They've been massively overpaying for talent. We're talking about salaries that are 30–40% above what the market can sustainably support. Just look at the tech sector. Meta, Amazon, and Google have already laid off thousands, and this is just the beginning. The real estate market in tech hubs is feeling the tremors, with office vacancies hitting record highs in places like San Francisco and New York. But here's what makes this truly scary. These aren't just isolated cuts. They're the first dominoes in a chain reaction that's about to sweep across every industry. The banking system's hidden crisis.
Bank, Signature Bank, and First Republic are among the largest bank failures in U.S. history, and experts say more could be out.
Now, while everyone's been obsessing over inflation numbers, something far more dangerous is lurking in our banking system. Regional banks are sitting on a powder keg of unrealized losses due to rising interest rates. When Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, everyone treated it like a one-off event. But let me tell you something, it was just the canary in the coal mine. These banks are holding billions in long-term bonds that have lost significant value, and they're praying they won't need to sell them at a loss. The Federal Reserve knows this, which is why they're trapped between fighting inflation and preventing a banking crisis. It's a game of financial chicken that nobody can win. The debt nightmare.
Consumer debt stood at $14.15 trillion pre-COVID. As of Q2 2024, it had ballooned to $17.8 trillion, an almost 26% increase in just 4 years.
Let's talk about something that's hitting closer to home: consumer debt. The average American household now carries $17,200 in credit card debt, but that number doesn't tell the whole story. With interest rates at historic highs, people are paying more in interest than ever before. We're seeing credit card rates above 20%. And here's the kicker: default rates are starting to tick up. This isn't just a debt bubble, it's a debt supernova waiting to explode. And unlike 2008, there's no easy fix, because the Fed can't lower rates without risking runaway inflation. The commercial real estate catastrophe.
Breaking down how higher interest rates are influencing property values, the commercial real estate market, and it is obviously...
Remember those empty offices I mentioned earlier? Well, this is where things get really interesting. And by interesting, I mean terrifying. Banks are holding $2.7 trillion in commercial real estate loans, and property values are plummeting. We're seeing vacancy rates that make the 2008 crisis look like a golden age. Major buildings in downtown areas are being returned to lenders, and property values have dropped by 30% or more in some markets. But here's what makes this truly dangerous. These loans need to be refinanced at much higher rates, and the numbers simply don't work anymore. we're looking at potential losses that could make the subprime mortgage crisis look like a rounding error. The global supply chain meltdown.
Chain crisis seeming to get worse each day. The ports are clogged with ships filled with goods and supplies, but transportation issues on shore are grinding.
Just when we thought supply chains were healing from the pandemic, geopolitical tensions are creating new disruptions that nobody predicted. The Red Sea crisis isn't just about higher shipping costs. It's exposing the fundamental fragility of our entire global trading system. Companies built their business models on the assumption of reliable, cheap shipping, and that world is gone. We're seeing shipping costs spike by 300% on some routes, and these costs are going to flow through to everything you buy. This isn't temporary, it's a structural change that's going to reshape the global economy. The corporate debt wall.
The clock will also start ticking on the need for corporate America to refinance trillions of dollars.
Here's something that keeps Wall Street veterans up at night. In the next 24 months, over $1.8 trillion in corporate debt needs to be refinanced. But here's the problem. This debt was issued when interest rates were at historic lows. Now companies need to refinance at rates that are 3 or 4 times higher. Many simply won't be able to afford the payments. We're about to see a wave of corporate bankruptcies that will make previous cycles look mild in comparison. And this time, the Fed doesn't have the tools to stop it. The employment illusion.
Everybody who wants the job can have one. I said that
everyone keeps talking about low unemployment numbers, but they're missing the bigger picture. Yes, unemployment looks low on paper, but dig deeper and you'll find something disturbing. The quality of jobs has deteriorated dramatically. Full-time positions with benefits are being replaced by part-time gigs and contract work. The gig economy isn't just changing how we work, it's masking a serious deterioration in job quality and security. When the next downturn hits, these workers will have no safety net. The housing market's final act.
Existing home sales down to a 14-year low, 3.84 million sold.
The housing market seems stable on the surface, but it's sitting on a foundation of sand. With mortgage rates double what they were 2 years ago, affordability has hit historic lows. First-time buyers are completely priced out of the market, and existing homeowners are trapped in their current homes by their low-rate mortgages. This isn't just a cooling market, it's a fundamental breakdown of the housing ecosystem. When it finally adjusts, the impact will ripple through the entire economy. The dollar's dominance under threat.
The BRICS countries, the original BRICS plus the new members of BRICS, are far away from having anything that can rival the dollar's dominance.
For decades, the US dollar's status as the world's reserve currency has been our economic superpower. But that's changing faster than most people realize. Countries are increasingly trading in other currencies, and the pace of de-dollarization is accelerating. If this trend continues, the impact on your purchasing power could be devastating. We're not talking about some far-off threat. This is happening right now, and it's accelerating. The perfect storm. Here's what makes this situation truly unprecedented. All these factors are converging at once. It's not just one bubble or one crisis. It's multiple systemic problems all coming to a head simultaneously. The domino effect could be unlike anything we've seen in modern economic history. But here's the thing. Every crisis creates opportunity if you know where to look. So what can you do to protect yourself? First, you need to build a substantial cash position. When assets go on sale, cash will be king. But not just any cash. You need to think about how to preserve purchasing power in a world of high inflation. Next, focus on reducing high-interest debt before rates go even higher. This isn't just about saving money, it's about survival. But perhaps most importantly, you need to invest in yourself. The best hedge against economic uncertainty is your ability to generate income in any environment. Look for ways to develop recession-resistant income streams. This might mean learning new skills, starting a side business, or finding ways to make your current income more resilient. Remember, the goal isn't to fear the future, it's to prepare for it. The coming years will be challenging, but they'll also create once-in-a-generation opportunities for those who are ready. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more financial insights.